Hey, everybody. It's Rick's preview for game number 55, Washington at Montreal. It's Saturday Hockey Talk. Hey, everybody. I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. And welcome to Don't Puck with Media, where you get the same thing. Thanks for anybody watching on Don't Puck with Media. And we got game number 55. I guess a rematch. Montreal beat Washington 11 days ago on February 6th, 5-2, and they're going to try to sweep them because they beat them also the first game of the season that they played them. So they could sweep Washington. That would be really good. Washington not playing very well. I've got news about Washington and Montreal, I guess. I've got the stats for the game. I don't have the lineups yet because they're not out, but I'll keep checking. I'll have them. They'll be out before the end of the show. Also, I have this. The Guess the Score contest. Guess the score of the game and the first goal scorer of the game. And you can pick that guy from either team. Be the first one in the chat with that guess. And if you are in Canada, you win and you're right, you win the cash prize of $10 directly into your bank account via Interac, and that is the reason why it's only in Canada. Hopefully that'll change. So let's see. Let's see who's here first, and then I'll do my news. How's that? If you are here, please say hi, ask a question, whatever you want in the chat. Daryl Adams first in there. He says 4-2. Suzuki with the first goal. Everything's going well, Daryl, hopefully for you as well. And, you got it on both channels. Do I think, you think the way Allen's playing, you think there's a team that will take him? I mean, that's a good question, actually, because I think that is one of the problems. It's probably one of the problems, and probably, there's time left till the trade deadline. And I think Hughes is just trying to get the most he can, and maybe we'll settle for a little less the closer we get to the deadline, if that's the problem. But the way he's playing, I don't think that helps, right? I don't think it helps. But you know what? Smart people in hockey, they have to recognize the fact that the defense isn't playing well in front of him on most nights. He also has he's up in the top of the league in goals saved above average. So he's not really playing totally like shit. It looks like it. I guess that's what I'm going to try to say. Hey, Guru, how's it going? 4-2 Habs, Carlson first goal. Hey there, X3J, 5-3 Montreal, Josh Anderson first goal. And Wonderphil, hey Phil, how's it going? It's going to be neat. He says, Habs super win. Is Galley back? Galley's back. 6-3 Galley is what he says. If Ovi's on the ice, he'll score. He loves the Bell Center. He's another old superstar. I expect will come over to Habs for a year at minimum. I don't think Ovi's going anywhere. He's already said that he's only going to play for Washington. He's not going to play for another team in the NHL. I don't see why he would go and change that. Will Ovi score? I'll tell you, I've got this on Ovi. He's scored a goal in each of his last 6 games. He's up to 14 in 52 games, and that's a 20-goal pace. You know what? He's got a goal in 6 games in a row. He's kind of due for a game not to score. It is Montreal. He loves to score against Montreal. I don't know that you can say for sure he'll score, but he probably will. Hey, conservative lawyer, how's it going? Allen in that tonight, yes. Hopefully he can turn it around. Yeah, hopefully. A lot of times, he has a bad game like he did, and then he'll come back with a good one. We'll see what happens. Phil says, I saw Jagger on the Pittsburgh ice. Was he? I saw something on Twitter that Jagger's going to sign with Montreal. Finally. He's not. Why wouldn't they let him skate there, I guess? I don't know. Hey, Lucas, how's it going? 4-2 Habs, Matheson. First goal. It's funny, everyone's got this 4-2. I was going to go with 4-2. I ended up 4-3 for my guess. By the way, I'm going to give it. But I was really going to go 4-2. Just to prove that, I don't know why I have to do this, but I feel better. You can see I kind of scratched out how the 3 is. It was a 2. Anyway, and I'm giving the first goal to Gignac. He almost got the first one last game, but it was a high stick that touched the puck. He deflected it in, so he's going to get it this time. So I got 4-3 Habs Gignac. I got through all that. Okay, here's what I got. Habs beat the Caps February 6th, as I said. In Washington, it was 5-2. That's 11 days ago. Caps have lost 4 of their last 5 games. One of those losses, I believe, is the Montreal game. So the Habs could sweep the series tonight. I just told you about Ovi. The Caps will try to feed Ovi, I think, all night. Because I was reading, someone wrote, and it made sense, right? They don't have much to play for the rest of the season, but they can play for getting Ovi as many goals as he can. I don't know that that's a good strategy to try to win games, but, I guess maybe they don't care at this point. I don't know. It's their biggest thing, right? He's not going to hit the mark, obviously, this year, but they can get him as close as they can. All right. Slavkovsky has 9 points since the All-Star break and has 11 points in his last 7, setting a Habs record for consecutive games with a point for a teenager. So that's a Habs record, all-time record, not just modern times, all-time record. The most consecutive games with a point for a teenager. And I mean, he's got 11 points. That's pretty strong. It's not like he got 7 points. He got 11. So he's starting to put up like a point-a-game numbers are really, really close right now. I mean, this kid's probably going to be a point-a-game player. Anybody doubting that? I think if he does it at 19, at 24, can't wait to see. Habs have allowed 7 goals in 2 of their last 3 games. Sandwiched in between is Primo's shutout, but it was the Ducks. But 7 goals in their last 3 games each. I don't think Washington scores 7 goals against us. Let's say that. And then I got Allen starts, and that's all I got for that. So let's talk a little bit more, and then I'll get into the preview part of the preview show. How's that? It is Saturday Hockey Talk, so there's talk involved. And we are here for, we got lots of time, another 52 minutes, so we got lots of time. Where was I? Lucas says he was going to go 4-0, but then you said Allen was in there. Won't you feel really dumb if Allen shuts them out 4-0? Hey, you're going to kick yourself. It's not going to happen, but you kick yourself. Hey, Matt Outdoor, 5-2 Habs, slap first goal. Do I think the NHL wants him to beat Gretzky's records? I'm curious why you say that, though. Is it because he's Russian and with everything going on? Or, I mean, you know what? He's a big name. He's popular. I don't see why they wouldn't, except that he's not a North American player. But if you go along those lines, it seems, I mean, you can make an argument that the NHL doesn't like Canadian teams, although Gretzky did some in LA. So it wouldn't shock me if that's got something to do with it. But I think it's just Ovi just, at his age, he's slowing down. I think it's simple. Plus, he's on a shitty team right now. So, believe me, if he was out there with any combination of our first line, I think he'd have more than 14 goals right now. So I think that has something to do with it too. Mr. Doug. How's it going there, Doug? 4-3 Habs. Cole with the first goal for his 20th. Both him and Suzuki looking for their 20th goals, which is nice. At this point in the season, we got 2 20-goal scorers pretty much, right? We're starting to make progress there, with the scoring. I know we need to score more, obviously, but it's like you can match up Suzuki and Cole and Matheson with every other team in the league pretty much now, right? X3J, I do not really think Trevor Zegras is coming to Montreal. Depends on who you listen to or watch, and I've done a little bit of that with good people, and you get both. You could show where I don't know that he fits. I don't know that he fits the character and type of player that Montreal's looking for. I just don't think he fits the mold here. So I don't think they're after him. Plus, you got to give up a lot for it. So you're going to give up a lot for a guy that probably doesn't fit. I don't think so. For me. Yeah, Phil, it's fine. Everyone's allowed their opinion. And like I say, some good people, and you get both opinions. So the league likes money teams that make money. No money or mo money, moolah, dinero, plata, money, cash, whatever he said there. Yeah, I guess. Hang on, I got a cough. I got a cold. If you're wondering why I'm coughing more than usual, I got a bit of a cold. The league likes money, obviously. Obviously. The thing is, when you're looking at Canadian teams, except for Ottawa, because it's clear they don't have a shit ton of fans. But Canadian teams have the fans that'll go to the games, that will watch. That will support the team. You can't say that in every U.S. market. So, just because our dollar's a little less, fuck them if they don't like it. That's what I say. Lucas says has a bit to do with the Russia stuff. Also, just how much of a face Gretzky still is of the league. Yeah, I know, but when a guy's going to set a record like that, you can't really hold him back. If you're trying to hold him back, I think that's pretty despicable. As far as for Gretzky, at one point I would have been adamant that I don't want that to happen. But Gretzky, I've lost a lot of respect for him because of the gambling shit that he does. At this point, if he does it, Ovi, and he's not my favorite person, Ovi, I wouldn't hold him back from it. Yeah, kind of a good point there, Lucas. He says, I find it super impressive that he might possibly pass it mostly because Ovi played in the dead puck era. We all remember those 2-1 games of the 2010s. Plus, he was not on a team like Edmonton. Edmonton was an offensive powerhouse, right? They didn't play defense. Their defense was strictly that no matter how many goals the other team gets, we will outscore them. They get a goal, we're going to get one. And that's how it was, and they did well with that, I guess, but they didn't play defense very much. And they had a great goalie there in Grant Fuhrer, but you can look at his numbers and go, how is this guy a great goalie? But that's because they didn't play defense. So the fact that they won so many games and he was able to keep them just, enough, he was a great goalie, Grant Fuhrer. Okay, first sentence in that, I don't know. Zegras and Anna Arti hang no bueno times. I don't know. Did aliens land in your house and they teaching you their language? I'm not sure. They will take a package of our spare firsts and flip those and whatever to get the big prices they want, like a 3-team trade. Middlestat, Zegras, and 2 firsts. And honestly, I don't see why they would really be after Zegras except for the Caulfield thing. But I don't know. I've seen analysis of his game. I don't think he fits here in Montreal. I don't think he's the in the mold of the player they're looking for. Simple. Middlestat, I don't know. But I don't think Zegras. I don't think this year, next year, the year after. They know they're going to have a bad season, X3J. They're hoping for better, yes, but they know that they're in a rebuild and things could go south real easy because they don't have depth like they need to have to be a championship team. They don't have the players in place everywhere to be a championship team. Marty's not going to pay the price for that. If you're talking once we make the playoffs, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years down the road, if this kind of thing happens, where they got 2-3 seasons where they suck, Marty could pay the price then. I just don't think so now. What about Jake Gensel? I don't know his age. If his age is too high, why would they go after him now? They're not where they need to be in the playoffs. They're not where they need to be to get that guy. So I don't think this year they're going to do anything like that. Next year, if they're making a run and they're there and they're in the playoff race and it's trade deadline time is a different story. This year, why? You're wasting a year of getting a guy like that. Why? Believe me, when they're ready, there'll be guys like Gensel in this one and that one. They'll be there. There's always guys out there like that. Another 5 minutes about, I'll do my preview. I know everybody's got no patience. Everybody I speak to now, even if they had patience a year ago, starting to have no patience with this rebuild. And I get that, right? It's boring and it's not fun watching them lose so much. But it's a process. And you got to stay the course. And that's what they're doing, I believe. They got a vision, they know what they want to do, and they know what they want to accomplish, and they're going to accomplish it the way they see it, and not being pushed into not doing it that way. That's what I think. And quite frankly, a point's been made out there, and it's a good one. Most people, and if you're out there, you say, no, I was a Slavkovsky guy all along. There's a few, but there's not a lot. So most people were not happy with that pick. Now you look at him and you go, wow, that's them that knew that. So you got to trust in them, I trust in them until there's a time where there's no reason to trust in them anymore. And that has not come. We're in a rebuild. I don't know if I made any sense there, but I tried to. I think I got lost along the way. Might have. It's Saturday afternoon, folks. People forget how long a lot of these great teams now were in the dumps to actually get good. It takes a few years of being bad to make a good team down the line. Listen, rebuilds, there's teams 6-7 years into their rebuild. You could argue Montreal is too, but that's not true. Their rebuild, in my eyes, their rebuild at the earliest started with the last year of Marc Bergevin. Sorry, that's how I see it. And anything he really did, that was his rebuild. The rebuild started officially with Hughes and Gorton. My opinion, we're 2 years in. We probably have up to 3 more. And if they manage to rush it, a year and a half, 2 years, we should start. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Maybe at the earliest, maybe, if everyone stays healthy next year, they actually make a run at the playoffs and maybe get in. I could see that. But it's going to be still another season, 2 seasons, potentially 3 seasons till we get to the playoffs. But, man, you know what I believe? When they get to the playoffs, they're going to be good. And they might not be super successful in the first go-round, but it won't take them long till they're contenders. That's my opinion. I see what's coming. I see the quality of the players. Maybe I still have rose-colored glasses a bit, but not like 5 years ago. And there's some aspects I don't see or know about, but still, I think this team's going to be goddamn good in the next 3 to 5 years. contenders. Now, a lot of things can, hang on that. Health, they got to stay healthy, and they've got to find those players that they need to find. As simple as that. Lucas, I was not a Slav guy either, and the same thing. Just, I started to, once I started to see some interviews and stuff with him, you can't help but like this kid. You can't help it. Then, if you do a little research, read about him, and this is the right character of a kid for them to, and listen, you know what? He's going to turn out to be the best pick in that draft anyway. So he's deserving of that first overall pick. Wright will find his way. He's doing well in the AHL this year. He just needed longer. I mean, that's all it is. I have nothing bad to say about Wright. I don't care. It's not to be mean either. I mean, the kid will do what he does. I'm not going to be one way or the other, and I don't need to compare him. Maybe in another 3 years we'll compare and see how he's doing and Cooley's doing and Slav and anyone else in that draft that worked their way up. And then we'll compare. But from the early look at it, Slav was the best pick in that draft. And if you weren't a Slav guy, I don't know how you aren't now, if that's the case. Imagine at 19, he's having extended periods of offensive production, that's point a game. At 19, we've seen that in other players on other teams, and they've gone on to be great players. So, I mean, I guess it's a bit of a small sample, but not really. 92 games or 93 games now. He matches up with Jack Hughes as far as production. He's not, I mean, he'll be fine. KK had, he had 34 points in his rookie season. Not horrible, but probably KK was rushed. I mean, he should have taken a little extra time to get here. And then he became shit because he was rushed. He didn't develop properly. You want to look back at another Hab that they did that to? Guillaume Latendresse. They did the same thing, man. Rushed him because he showed promise. And they rushed him, and what did he turn out to be? Two more minutes, and we're going to get to the preview. If you're regulars here, you know me, so you know what's going on. If you're new, thanks for coming in. And thanks, by the way. I think X3J and a couple others are watching on the new channel. Appreciate that. Don't Puck with Media. Let me show you the new logo. Don't Puck with Media. If you type that into YouTube, you'll get there. There are links in all my videos that'll get you there. And check out what we got going on over there. There's not a ton there yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it. It's coming along. By the way, if you haven't already, appreciate that if you would head over there at some point and hit that subscribe button and get us going towards our goal. And that would be really nice of you guys. All right. I guess I'm going to get into, not yet, but soon. I'm dropping people. Let me just see if there's the lineups are out. Lineups are out. Nice. All righty. So I'll have them up on the screen when I get to it. All right. Starting off with the 23, 21, and 8 Washington Capitals in Montreal for the third meeting of the season. Montreal's 22, 24, and 8. So they're 2 games under the NHL version of 500. If Montreal wins today, We sweep them for the season. How to watch this game, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific in Canada, City TV. That's where I'm going to be watching it tonight. Sportsnet East, TVA Sports, and that's in Canada, so that'll be across the board. In the Capitals region, Monumental Sports Network, and streaming ESPN Plus, Sportsnet Plus, where I normally would watch it, but not tonight if it's on City. Season series, as I said, we beat them the first meeting of the season in overtime, October 21st, 3-2. And we just beat them February 6th, 5-2 in Washington. And they're meeting tonight. So could there be a sweep? Last 10 games, Capitals are 2-6-2, and they suck worse than we do. They lost their last 2 games. Montreal 3-6-1, so they don't suck that much worse than we do, but they suck worse than we do. And we lost our last game, and 2 out of the last 3 by 7-2, 7-2, and 7-3 or 7-4 scores. So sucky. Home and away, Washington's away. They're 10-15 on the road, and Montreal is 11-17 at home. The refs tonight, we got Carter Sandlak and Francis Sharon, and I don't believe Sharon is one of the, although the record's not horrible with him, but I don't think he likes Montreal, but that's just me. The record's not that horrible. We'll see what we get. You know what? The refs haven't been as bad. They're not great, but they're not as bad as the first half of the season. Anybody agree? Let me know. You agree with that? Like the last 4 or 5 games that I've done, they're not as horrible. They do make horrible calls each game, but not as many, I guess. I don't know. I've kind of noticed this. It's not like it's hugely like, oh, wow, they're fantastic. They're still shit, but they're not as shit. Let's look at the Eastern, the Atlantic Division, top to bottom. Panthers are now at the top, tied with Boston, but they do have 3 more wins to get them there. Boston is next, both of them at 74 points. Tampa, 65 points. Toronto, 64 points. And Detroit fell off a little bit, 60 points. They haven't gotten any in a little bit. Montreal's next at 52 points, Buffalo at 50, and Ottawa at 46. And you can see, I've said this many times, it's hard for those bottom teams to jump over anybody. And if you watch this, and I do this every preview, those bottom teams have stayed the same, bottom 3. So it's really tough that's why Montreal's not getting out of the bottom 10. And this is the bottom 10. Top to bottom, Calgary, 55 points, Washington, 54, Montreal, 52, Buffalo and Arizona, 50, Ottawa, 46 points, Columbus, 42, Anaheim, 40, Sharks, 35, and the Blackhawks, 31. But Connor Bedard is back in the lineup, and maybe they'll move up a little bit. Like, they'll pass San Jose, who knows? But Connor Bedard is back. Tail of the tape, scoring chances for 44.7% for Montreal, 29th, 47% for the Capitals, 25th. So not that much difference. Goals per game, 2.78 for Montreal, 27th in the league, 2.38 for the Capitals, 30th. So not that much difference, but Montreal scores more than they do. Goals against per game, 3.52. 28th for Montreal, 3.08 for the Capitals, 17th, so they give up less than we do. Power play percentage, 19.9% for Montreal, 18th, 15.2% for the Caps, 25th. They don't have a good power play right now. PK percentage, 74.4%, 29th for Montreal, 80% even for the Caps, 16th. And head-to-head record, 2-0-0 for Montreal, 0-1-1 for them. Face-offs, 47% even for the Caps, 27th in the league, 52.5% for Montreal, 6th, coming down a little bit still. And shots on goal allowed and shots on goal for. So the allowed, 30.6 for the Capitals, 33.7 for Montreal. And on goal for, 27.6 for Caps and 28.3 for Montreal. Players to watch over the last 5 games. Points, Ovi with 6 and Suzuki with 10. Goals, Ovi with 5, Suzuki with 6. Assists, Dylan Strome 3, Mike Matheson 6. Plus minus, Nick Jensen's plus 3, Cole Caulfield plus 5. So all of our leaders for those 5 games are ahead of theirs. Nice to see, and we don't see that often, but we're going to get used to it. Team leaders for the season in goals, Dylan Strome 20, Nick Suzuki 19. Points, Alex Ovechkin 37, Suzuki 52. Average time on ice, John Carlson 25-48, Mike Matheson 25-23. And in wins, Darcy Kemper has 11 and Sam Montembeault has 12. Monty is definitely not starting today. Caps, top 5 in scoring. Ovi, 14 goals, 23 assists, 37 points, minus 17. Dylan Strome, 20 goals, 15 assists, 35 points, minus 9. John Carlson, 3 and 27 for 30 points, minus 3. Anthony Mantha, 16 and 10 for 26 points and a plus 4. And the hated Tom Wilson with 12 goals, 9 assists, 21 points, minus 14. Habs scoring, top 6, but Sean Monahan doesn't really count because he's in Winnipeg. So we won't mention him, even though I just did. Nick Suzuki, 19 goals, 33 assists, 52 points, minus 12. Cole Caulfield, 19 goals, 26 assists, 45 points, minus 1. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody thought Cole Caulfield, 2/3 into the season, would have more assists than goals. So he's turning into a bit of a playmaker. Can't deny it. Mike Matheson, 7 goals, 33 assists, 40 points, minus 17. And that 40 points is a career best and counting. Sean Monahan, 13 goals, 22 assists, 35 points, and he is no longer here. Said I wouldn't mention him, but I did anyway because I'm an idiot. Juraj Slafkovsky, 12 goals, 17 assists, 29 points, minus 11, and those numbers will go up. Brendan Gallagher, just back. It's only his second game back from suspension, still at 8 and 8. For 16 points and a minus 22. The goalies tonight, let's see if, okay. So here, Darcy Kemper is starting for Capitals, 11, 12, and 3, 317 goals against, and an 894 save percentage. It is not Monty starting. And for Montreal, it is Jake Allen. In 18 starts, he's 5, 10, and 3. With a 363 goals against and an 895 save percentage. Not great numbers. I'm not blaming him completely because the defense doesn't play well in front of him in general. I do believe, and I think we'll see today, he bounces back from that last game and has a good game. That's my prediction. Let me just do this to get the lineups. This way, this way, this way. All right. Capitals lineup is Dylan Strome, Ovechkin, and TJ Oshie, line 1. McMichael, Protas, and Mantha, line 2. Scarbosa, is that it? Scarbosa, Pacioretty, and Milano, line 3. Dowd, Malenstein, and Tom Wilson, line 4. Fejvari and Carlson, first pair. Sandin, Jensen, second pair. Joel Edmondson in the lineup with Trevor Van Riemsdyk, third pair. Kemper starting, Lindgren backing him up. Lindgren has the best numbers, though, of the Washington goalie. But he just shit the bed the last game, so I'm not surprised they didn't start him. Habs lineup, Suzuki, Caulfield, Slafkovsky. That one ain't changing. Evans, Pearson, and Gallagher. Evans playing a lot better over the last couple of games, 2 goals. This would be, if he gets a goal today, his first time in his career 3 games in a row scoring. We'll see. Newhook, Joshua Roy, and Anderson, apparently third line. And Gignac, Pizzetta, and Armia, fourth line. Matheson and Gooley, first pair. Struble and Savard, second pair. Jacki and Kovacevic, third pair. Harris out. I wonder if he knows what day it is. He was knocked for a loop the other day. So Allen is going to start. Primo's backing him up. And that's the lineups. And that's the stats. So that's what we got. I like our chances a lot. I think I still think Montreal wins. Nothing in the stats says to me that we're not going to win this game. I know 2 out of the last 3 games we played like shit. It's time for them to bounce back. It is also, you could say, Washington's due for a win, losing 4 to their last 5. They could be due for a win. I say no. X3J, like, it's good to have you back, dude. No worries. Life gets in the way, right? Rosnick, I'm just going to call you Rosnick. Rosnick's a Slovak, and Uri was always amazing and the best player. Basically, he got, for Slovakia, a bronze medal in the last Olympics. You probably didn't see him play before he was drafted for Montreal. I saw highlights and stuff, but, I mean, he wasn't on my radar. I did not think they'd pick him. But boy, am I glad they did. And this kid is going to be great, and I believe he's going to do Slovakia well in the future. And I know he's a huge star there, and you guys follow him like crazy. And it's one of the reasons why I mention him a lot, because I know I have a bunch of Slovakian viewers. And so, yeah, I talk about Slav partly because of that, but also because, you know what? He's quickly becoming right up there with my favorites, Nick and Cole, right? Which makes sense. But like, I'm really looking forward to every night to see what he does. And I know that your whole country does that, but I'm the same way now because he's really an exciting kid to watch. So yeah. And welcome to the channel. I think you've been here before, but if not, welcome in. I definitely, Rosnick, I did judge him before we wanted the other kid, and I'm super happy we got they chose the guy they chose, who's clearly, I mean, the longer he plays, it's his second season, he's clearly the best pick in that draft, I think. And I don't think that's going to change. I think other kids could move up in that. I don't think Uri's going to drop. Because he's only going to get better. He's 19. He's only going to get better. Rosnick, I know the whole history. Don't worry. I delved into him. Don't worry about it. I know the whole history. And, yeah, quickly becoming one of my favorites. 100%. Bye-bye. Habs 4-2. That 4-2 score, man. Everybody's on that. Slav with the first goal. Mary Jo. Good to see you, Mary Jo, all the way from England. 3-2 Caps. Matheson first goal. She doesn't believe Montreal will sweep them. It's a good chance that they don't, but I just think that they will. Do I think Galley's career is done? Well, he's got 3 years left after this, so no, but I do. This is what I've said for a while. He's going to play next year. I don't think he makes it past that, and he'll be on the LTIR for the last 2. But I'll say this thing about Galley. Don't ever really count him out, because this guy works as hard as anybody and gives 100% out on the ice. Never fully count out a guy like that. That's all I'm saying, because nobody thought he'd play every game except the suspension ones, but he'd play every game up to this point and work his ass off and, you know, do some stupid things in the third period. I get it. But I wouldn't count him completely out. But I don't see how he goes beyond next season. BL. Hey, BL, how you doing? Yes, I know. I saw your comment. I just didn't have time. I was really busy this morning. Yeah, it was fun. And we're going to do that as a regular thing, I believe. Probably twice a month. We are going to do the trivia night that we had last night. Wasn't a ton of people there yet, but, you know, it was the first time. And the only way to get that, you know, people to watch it is keep doing it regularly. it's not. It's something we could run out of some trivia, so we don't want to do it like every week, but every second week is the plan. So, but I'm glad you like it. It's a lot of fun. I love trivia personally, and not just sports trivia. I mean, we might even open up some other topics too as we go along because we're gonna run out of sports trivia at some point. Every time you're back, the Habs lose. Those go away. That's funny. Near Scotland. Oh, let me James Harriet area, Yorkshire Dales area by chance? If that's a real place, if not, what's it called? I love James Harriet. If everybody knows what that is, I love those books. Been reading them almost my whole life. Read them many times over, and the series. There's a new series out too that it's really good. Mark Roy, how's it going? You're gonna be at the Bell Center, awesome, man. Hey, get a sign, say Talking Habs. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the game. Yeah, you got a break from the snowmobile. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. You guys deserve a freaking break there. I've got I just found out a buddy of mine who I hadn't been in touch with for a couple of years, and now I know why. He moved to New Brunswick, and he's living in New Brunswick. Why? I thought that made me think of, because you're not in New Brunswick, but he is. So got another buddy out there. Hey, Zachary, did you? I'm glad you did, buddy. Good to see you out there. Mary Jo, that's further north than you? Nice. Or you're further north. Nice, though. Yeah, I've always wanted to go there and visit that area because of those books. Your dad was originally from Newcastle. Nice. Imagine a lot of people's ancestors of some sort were from England or the Great Britain area, that whole area. We were hilarious. Well, I appreciate that. We tried to be. We definitely tried to be. So, it's all about fun. Cannot have everything only serious. And trying to do a little bit of programming that's not just us sitting around talking about the Habs, hockey related, but not just that, trying to be a little more entertaining. I always like to do that. You know me, I always like to do stuff. I haven't done too much of it because I'm so busy with the season and the two podcasts. It eats up most of my days and nights. But in the off season, once the season's over, I'll be writing more poetry and getting back to more of my creative stuff. So, what can I do? There's only one of me, and I'm old, and I don't. If I was younger, this would be great. If I was younger, I'd have a lot more drive and energy to work the long hours. I don't at my age, unfortunately. Although, good news to share with you all. I've been walking with a cane for, it's getting close to 3 years now with my knees. 3 days ago, I put the cane down. Don't need it anymore. And I've been walking without it. My knees are doing good. And this summer plan is to do a lot of walking and get back into some form of shape and start feeling younger again. But yeah, the cane is gone. I don't look like I'm as old anymore when you see me out walking. The funny thing is, though, I'm so used to walking with the cane in this hand. I'm walking the dog, and I don't know what to do with my arm. It feels weird that I don't know what to do with it. So I put the leash now in this hand, and I'm getting used to it. So it's really weird. But almost 3 years, and I don't need it anymore. BL says Habs 5-3. Going to say Louis LeBlanc with the first goal, and I got to try to figure out who Louis LeBlanc is in today's players. Not getting older, I'm getting more handsome. That's what you meant to say. I know that's what you meant to say. Yeah, I wish that were true. I honestly do. I would love to go back, not hugely far. I'd love to go back 20 years with the brain, like the knowledge and wisdom I have today, and redo some things better, if you know what I mean. And quite frankly, I don't know if 20 years ago this was, but I would be hopefully in that time getting ready to start this way earlier. That's something, if I could go back 10 years and have started on YouTube 10 years ago, if I would have known that I had it in me at all, I have a little bit. I would have done that, but who knew? I would never have thought it. If you know me in my real life, you know I'm a shy person. I'm not always that talkative. I've changed since doing this, but you wouldn't think this was for me. Who knows? You never know. You never know in life. And thanks, Lucas. You won't see me running because the knees are never going to be 100% because I can't get them operated on. But I think they're healed as much as they could be healed without any operation. So I wear my soft braces. Don't need the cane. And I don't walk with a limp anymore either. I think a bit of it in the last couple of months was psychological. And I've come to realize I didn't really need it. And I could walk straight and no limp and everything. And it's like, okay, put the cane away. So it's not a doctor that told me it's okay. It's me. Yeah, Bill, I got used to it and it didn't bother me that much. But yeah, it's nice not to have to take the cane with me. It really is nice. And I feel solid on my legs. They're just a little bit weaker than they were before, but it's not the knees that are weak. So, well, they are. I mean, no, but I'm still good. Who can touch their private parts? What the hell's that about? I'm not that out of shape. Even if I was, my arm goes down far enough. You're going to go with Pearson. He needs a goal. I mean, that guy needs a goal. So the thing is, if I look back, I might not catch that. If it happens, you let me know that. Remember, I changed it to Pearson just because I might, and looking back, might not go far enough. I don't know. Might not catch it. Or you can just type it in next together, and then I'll catch it. But good luck. And he needs a goal. He's due. If there's anybody like kind of due on the Habs to get a goal, it's got to be him. And it would be nice if he gets some scoring in because it'll up his value if there's any there. I don't know what value is there, but Bruins Kings on now. They got the first game of the day. Well, I have. I don't know if they're playing, but in my team, I don't know which one now because I got two of them there. But I have Lynn Allmark and Talbot. I took Talbot off because the other guy I had was starting. It was for sure starting. So I'm assuming I'm making the bet that Bruins are going to beat the Kings. How's that? That's what I'm trying to say there. Took a long time to get that out, but it did come out. All right, good stuff there, BL. Outdoor game tonight in New York. Oh, I didn't know that. Who is playing? The Islanders or the Rangers? And who's playing them? I don't know. Still got time, 10 minutes, but I mean, as long as I'm having a good time, I might stay. I don't know. But 3 shows today, so I do have stuff to do. Oh, it's the 2 New York teams playing. That's interesting, actually. It's probably on when I'm doing the game, so I can't really watch it. But that's something I might have checked out because I'd get it on Sportsnet. which I don't take advantage of enough. Honestly, I should have watched more games this year, and I didn't. I watched some, but not enough. And I got to start doing that, watching more, because now we're doing that podcast. It's like the whole league. I'm barely able to keep up with the boys. They watch a lot more other hockey than me. But you know what? In life, there's always something you can improve on or do better. So, is New Jersey and Philly in the outdoor? Well, how'd you get that wrong? The outdoor game's tomorrow. But tomorrow is not my birthday. It was the other day. But yeah, my boys are coming tomorrow to celebrate my birthday. So I don't think I'm going to be watching hockey, unfortunately. No, not unfortunately. Fortunately, because my boys are coming. I live with my oldest, but my two youngest, they live in LaSalle. I don't see them as often as I would like. But summer's coming up. I scooter down there. You can do that, Both games are outdoor. Oh, there's two outdoor games. That's something. I don't usually watch the outdoor games because when was the last time Montreal was involved in one? And I watch Habs games. Only in the last 2 seasons I started and it's because of Matt and the two boys, Alex and Cam. We do some watch party stuff, and they've got me watching other games. And now I realize I've got to watch other games. Both are at the same stadium 2 nights in a row. Is that what you're saying? Well, it's interesting. I think I can watch them on replay, and maybe I'll do that and check it out. But I don't like watching games on replay in general because you hear the score. Once you hear the score, you don't really want to watch. Yeah, that was a few years ago, right? I didn't catch that one because it was probably before I was doing this. Otherwise, I would have seen it. I think in the 5 years that I'm doing this, I don't think I've missed more than a handful of Habs games for various reasons, but I think that's it. I've caught every Habs game I could. Even though I do not really get paid for this, yeah, I can't miss a game unless there's an emergency. Okay, but I mean, if I can make the game and do the game, I'm doing it. Hey, Jason, how's it going? Good to see you. 3-2 Habs. Caulfield, first goal. All good guesses. And it'll be somebody like Pizzetta but I honestly, listen, Gignac got the first goal the last game, but it was off a high stick deflection. Didn't count, but he got it. I'm figuring, he's probably going to be fired up to get it again. X3J, there will be very soon. I know I keep saying that, but we were going to have a meeting about it and get it going, and it got delayed because of 2 things. But the biggest one was Matt's father passed away a couple weeks ago, and that was a big thing. So we'll get that going very soon. And yes, there will definitely be shirts. And I do believe there'll be more than just shirts and hoodies. There'll be different kinds of things as well. But yes, shirts like the one hanging there and the one I was wearing, I think the last game. They're different. They're different logos, and those both will be available. And other things too, because we're going to have them for the other channel as well and for the 2 podcasts eventually as well. Believe me, you'll be, and I hope you guys buy them and wear them, because personally, when I love wearing my shirts, and there'll be plenty of different things. I got a bunch of ideas for stuff for the shirts. We just have to get started. BL, first of all, I don't think that's worth doing. And I think their number of $2 billion to tear it down is bullshit. But why put a new roof on that place? For what? 4 times a year they might use it? For $750 million? And Quebec is not the best off province. That money could be used way better. In my opinion, what they should do is just shut that place down and eventually tear it down. Awesome, X3J. Don't worry, we'll announce it. Awesome. That's great. I'd love to see that. But definitely when the shirts are ready to come out, we'll announce them. Just not sure how we're doing them exactly. Like I said, we got to meet and get that all. Yeah. So hopefully that is in the next, by the end of the month, we should have had that meeting and be working on it. That's my plan. It's just everybody else works a day job, and it's hard to get everybody together also at the same time. All right. Well, got about another 5 minutes. Any other questions out there? I've provided everything I can, I think, about this game that I know of. So don't forget to check us out on the Hangout. It should be, actually, I say us. It should be just me tonight, I think. But I'll be doing the Hangout and the post game right after. Why doesn't Montreal have a AAA farm club? Because we had the Expos here. There was a lot of talk over the last, I don't know how many years, that probably over the last 10 years of getting a AAA, even a AA. I think I heard AA team here. I honestly, I don't know. The key here, though, for Montreal, we're going to get a baseball team again. AAA or major league team is location. Has to be downtown, somewhere in that area downtown. Can't be out in the East End, can't be in the West End, can't be in Laval. Has to be downtown. It's the only thing that'll work here in Montreal. So, from what I understand, they've had 3 opportunities at land where they could do that. And I know at least 2 of them got sold for something else. So I don't know. I'd love it if there would be a major league team back in Montreal. I'm a big baseball fan, but there's no team for me to cheer for once they took my Expos away. BL, no, I know that I know there were teams all around, but I don't know why they haven't done it. Honestly, I don't know why they haven't done it. I don't think you can I don't think you can generate enough money for a AAA team playing in the Big O. So, and it's not a great place for baseball. Besides, anyway, you never know. You walk in there, a piece of the freaking roof or the building itself could fall down on you. I don't know that I'd go back in there. Last time I was in there, I'm going to say was probably, I think Zach was like 3. So like 30 years ago. And it's something like, what, 18 years since they left. So it was a while. I didn't go. BL, I think if they could do that, yeah. But, is there enough interest in a AAA team here? And then, who's going to foot the bill? Who's going to foot the bill to build the stadium and run the team? I don't know. I never saw a minor league game in baseball. Never. So we'll see what happens. All right. Does Laval draw well in the AHL? First of all, it's hockey. So I would imagine it does. I don't really know 100%, but the Rockets seem to be pretty popular. And it's not hard to get to either. It really isn't. You can take the metro like right there from Montreal. You can take the metro right up there. For hockey, I think people are more willing to go elsewhere. But I don't think for baseball, I think you got to be downtown. Because baseball is kind of more of I find it more of a night out. It's summer. You got to be where after the game you can go out easily within walking distance and go somewhere. The Big O is too far east. Yes, you can take the metro, but then if it's the games don't finish that late, but it's just a pain in the ass, I find. I've been out there by metro. It's long. All right. I'm going to call it a night, or day. Not yet. I got lots of time to go yet. I'll be back at 7 for the hangout as normal, and we'll see the game. I won't show it on the channel, obviously, if you're out there thinking that I will. I won't. But I'll try to do. I don't know if I'm going to do play-by-play. Honestly, I don't know. Excuse me. I may tonight because I'm going to be watching it on City TV, which means I'm going to get it as early as anybody else. So, yeah, I can play-by-play is not redundant at that point. Hopefully we'll have a good game. We'll have fun. And I'll see you later. And the post game will be right after, within 10 minutes after the game. So that's it. The Rocket are drawing almost 9,000 per game. I think for an AHL team, that's pretty damn good, don't you think? All right. Have a good one, BL. And everybody else, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. And hopefully you'll catch me later for the hangout in the game. And till then, keep your stick on the ice. Stay safe out there. Peace out. Go Habs, go. And I'll see you later. Ciao, everybody. Have a good afternoon.